What's up guys, and welcome back to On the Brick with a wonderful display mock here that I've wanted to show you for a long time. This is Hachiroku 24's Anakin and Obi-Wan's Lego set enhanced, or as I just like to call it, it's Mustafar. If you don't know, Hachiroku 24 actually puts out a lot of instructions for his mocks on his channel, and when I say a lot, I mean instructions for literally every single one. They are all video instructions taking you step by step, and though I do think some could be a little better in helping you understand what pieces you need where, for the most part, they're pretty easy to follow. In the case of this build, I recreated it entirely in studio and then went through that means to get the pieces and build it in real life. And let me tell you, this is beautiful. This is seriously a wonderful display piece. And if you have watched this channel for any length of time, then you know that things like this are exactly what I love and exactly what I would love to have more of. Now, like I said, Hachiroku has put out a ton of different mocks and things that I hope to be able to build one day soon, but this is the first one that I absolutely wanted to show you. Now, obviously, when you get a build like a starship or something from Brick Vault, there is more to talk about. You get to talk about the building techniques, you get to talk about how it looks, how it compares to the actual thing in universe, all that. Or especially like any problematic areas, anything like that. And there's usually different things to show off, but here, this is everything. The build process is extremely straightforward. All the lava is plates with some bricks put in there, stacked in various ways to make the illusion of the lava, and I think it works wonderfully. You then make this back area with the land, which again could use just a little bit of work in how it actually comes together, but it still looks so good. And it just connects straight into the rest of the lava. You obviously then do add all this extra stuff on here, and the base is separate. In fact, the entire build just slides right on in and out. Hachiroku also made sure to include both the platform and the droid that Anakin and Obi-Wan fight on top of, so you can recreate various different scenes from the Mustafar fight here. That's why this pillar thing is here. Because despite being a smaller quote-unquote build, there is still a lot of detail in here. The rock work on the ground part is amazing. He uses a bunch of different techniques here to get it like this. And what I personally like about it is that it's not overly complicated. Rock work can either be super simple or super extreme, and I think this is definitely towards the simpler size, but it works like that because at the end of the day, this is still very much a display piece with the ability to be a play set. This is very much something that you're supposed to put on a shelf and have it be like a vignette of Mustafar, but if you wanted to, you could play around with this. So having a bunch of studs exposed on the ground not only gives it like a bit of a rocky feel, which is really nice, it also lets you put the figures there however you want. Or you can set them up floating over the lava if you so desire. I love the pieces of black here that are included, which really break this up and is very realistic when it comes to lava as well. And even though I know this arm thing had long been gone by the time they got to the high ground, it's still really nice to include, and to me, really pulls all of this together. I personally love the touches of the lava on the areas hitting the lava. Those glowing trans orange pieces are really nice, and when I was putting this together, I wasn't too certain about them, but when I actually had it finished and had it here in the light box, it really looked amazing, and I'm glad that even those details were included. Now, there is only one semi-problematic area with this build, and that is the ice cream pieces in the back right that you see there. In the original instructions, these are all meant to be stacked on top of each other, and it actually does work in real life, but it is quite unstable, so the slightest bump is going to send them knocking over. So instead of having one tall stack, I had 2 short stacks because it works all the same, honestly. There are 682 pieces in this build, and the last that I checked, it only cost about $70 plus shipping to get them all, which is really not bad for this. Or if you want to skip the hassle and have someone else get the parts for you, all nice and sorted, you can check out my website onthebrick.fun. When it comes to the ratings, I would give this a 10 out of 10 when it comes to design. This is a perfect display piece. When it comes to the actual build itself, I am going to give it a 9 out of 10 because there are some tricky areas, like with the ice cream cones, so I can't give it a perfect score here. The quality of Hachiroku's instructions are only going to get a 7 out of 10. Again, there are quite a few areas, especially in this build, where you have to pause and go back and do about 3 or 4 looks just to make sure that you're actually using the right pieces, but they're going to get a 10 out of 10 on price because they're free. And when it comes to the actual price of getting this model as well, I'm going to go ahead and give it a 10 out of 10 as well. I actually had to stop and think about that one for a second, but even if shipping costs like $20 for a total of $90, that's still only 13 cents a piece or so, which really is not that bad. This is seriously one of the best MOCs that I have ever seen. I love that the instructions were free, and you should totally check out all of Hachiroku's other stuffs. A link to his video on Mustafar will be in the description down below, along with all these other wonderful links you should check out. If you haven't already, please make sure you like and subscribe, and consider checking me out on Discord, Instagram, and of course on Patreon, where you can join all these wonderful people. You get some stuff early, and you even can get shoutouts like Jonathan and Project Elements. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next time.